Hello! It is day 11 of Vlogmas, and I just wanted to start by saying thank you to everybody who's been watching and commenting on the series. This was like kind of a weird experiment for me, and it's been really nice being able to not only know that folks are watching, but to be able to engage with you while you do. People have been leaving lots of comments, sharing their own little stories, and as a result, I've kind of gotten to know you a little better too, which is super cool. So if you've been watching, if you've been leaving comments, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kind of makes the whole thing worth doing. So thank you so much for that. Check these out. Jake Waits on Instagram messaged me a little while ago and was like, "Hey Adam, I saw you've been playing Magic. Me and some of my friends have this woodworking thing that we do where we're making magic life counters out of wood, and let me send you some." And I was like, hell yeah, like I don't play a bunch of physical Magic, but I would love to get my eyes on those. Check it out. So they look like badass little clocks. See that okay? But check this out, watch. As you gain and lose life, the little gears go around and the symbols move. Isn't that cool? So Jake Waits on Instagram, thank you for those. I got two of them, one in two different colorways, and then I got this experimental life counter one that's like straight up just a cool helmet and you stare through its eyes. This is a little prototype one they're working on. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I'm excited about these. They are dope. People make such neat things. Woodworking sorcery. Yesterday's video, and I guess the day before, and a little bit of the day before, had Blue Jay in it. I do a lot of stuff with Blue Jay, and it's super fun. We play Dungeons & Dragons together. She's been in a bunch of RPG campaigns with me. Obviously, like, I do a bunch of photography stuff with her, and we just, like, hang out a fair bit. And it's always interesting watching folks who aren't familiar with me or with Blue Jay or like our channels kind of ask questions about like, hey, what is the deal with them? Or like, what's up with Adam? He said that he was queer on the internet, but then is he dating Blue Jay? Is he bi? What's the fucking deal? Why is Adam's sexuality so confusing to me? Well, like, first of all, don't get yourself all twisted about it. You don't need to worry about other people's sex stuff, I guess, unless you're like having sex with them or you want to. But anyway, I get these kind of questions a lot, and not just about Blue Jay, but about me kind of in general, and I think that that's fair. I think it's reasonable to be like, what is the deal with this guy and his like stuff? Because I don't really like do relationships in a way that most people find normal. If you've watched Hot for Teacher, which is my relationship advice show at all, or you watched maybe my February of 2016 vlog thing about Adam versus Valentine's Day, you might have some idea about the way that relationships kind of fit into my world. I care about three things. I care about three things very strongly. The first being role-playing games, second being photography, and the third being relationships, whether mine with other people or relationships in general as a social structure, the way people are tied together to one another, right? How they function in social groups. And not broadly like sociology, but very specifically like the things that people are interested in when it comes to each other. That stuff for me is really fascinating and interesting. And I think a lot about relationships, and I've gotten to a place in my life where my relationships are dictated by a pretty solid, somewhat chaotic seeming structure. I will attempt to explain some of it just because it's important to me. It's part of who I am, and I think sharing that is important. So first of all, I identify as a queer person. And the reason why I've chosen queer over pansexual or bisexual or whatever is that I don't like any of those terms. They don't feel like me. They don't fit when I think about myself. And queer is a reclamation of a term, a slur, a term of negativity, right? I get called that by other people as a way to try to hurt me. And I am trying to take it back. I'm saying like, fuck them. It's my identifier now. What it means in practical terms really is that like, I don't take people's gender so much into account when I decide if I am interested in spending time with them. You know, if I'm interested in having a relationship with them. And it ties into kind of the other thing, which is that I practice relationship philosophy that a lot of people would call relationship anarchy, which I know sounds so edgelordy and ridiculous, and honestly the term makes me roll my eyes, but it takes its inspiration from political anarchy, the idea that nobody is ruled over by anybody else, and it spreads it out into this greater philosophy of openness and non-hierarchical, non-coercive relationship structure, which is like a lot of kind of big ways to say, I don't value relationships based inherently on their structural content. I care about people for their relationship to me and what that entails. So what that might look like in practice is that I have a handful of really close friends, and with those friends, some of them I do some activities and have some stuff in my relationship, and others I don't, right? Like, just like anybody else. You have a friend who really likes sports, and so maybe you go to hockey games with them. You have a friend that you know through World of Warcraft, and so you play MMOs with that friend. You have internet friends, you have work friends, you have school friends, you have people that you know in a bunch of different venues, and you do different activities with all of those people. Now, most folks, above and beyond all of that stuff, will have like someone they're dating, or they'll have people that they are in love with, or people that they do sex stuff with. And for me, all of those activities, all those parameters, friendship and love and sex and all of that stuff, is all kind of one flat space. I don't think that if I am doing romance stuff with somebody, if we're like going on dates or spending a lot of time together or anything that would make us a relationship in the way that a lot of people think of it, that doesn't immediately become more important or more significant to me. In the same way, I don't think making out with somebody instantly changes the fundamental nature of my relationship with them. So it's hard when people ask, like, hey, Adam, what is the deal with you and whoever? I don't feel comfortable saying, like, yes, I am this person's boyfriend, or yes, this person is my boyfriend, or we're all boyfriends. I don't like reducing people to that, and I don't like the way that it limits what a relationship can be. So for me, I just have people in my life that are really important and that are special, and we do different stuff together, including playing role-playing games and doing photography projects and going to conventions. And none of my friends are better or more important to me simply because of the activities that we undertake together. I try to keep my life as flat and non-hierarchical and non-coercive as possible. And that way, everybody that I'm close to gets to have a say in those relationships, and we talk about things as they come up instead of just assuming, well, we've been on 3 dates, so we should probably make out, or we've been cohabitating for a year, let's adopt a bobcat. There's no unexamined presuppositions in the relationships that I try to undertake. So when people ask, like, hey Adam, I see you and Blue Jay like doing things a lot together, I often just have to say, like, yeah, because Blue Jay is awesome and we like spending time together. And I know that that's confusing for folks. You know, my life is not, it's not easy to explain to people who don't know me very well. And so maybe now, having kind of expressed that, you have a better understanding of kind of where I'm at in relation to my friends and my family and the people around me. Or maybe you're just more confused. It's not for everybody. Some people feel much more comfortable with, like, this is my boyfriend, these are my friends, this is my best friend. But I don't like that. I don't like categorizing myself or other people in terms of the content of our relationships. So yeah, hard question to answer, but an easy one to feel my way through in my heart. Like, I know what my relationships are like with people, and it really gives me, personally, a nice stable ground to work from. So yeah, kind of a weird topic, I guess, but something that people ask a lot, and I thought that I would address. It's something that philosophically kind of helps guide me from day to day, and like knowing how to build new relationships and new friendships with people, and knowing kind of like what feels meaningful for me. Because if you don't know that, if you don't know like what's good for you as a person in relationships, how can you ever engage in them safely or comfortably? I don't know. I don't know that. It's taken me a long time to get here. I don't know. I don't think I have it all figured out for me yet either, right? There's still going to be more things to learn and more ways that I find my way through the world. And the point, I think, of all of it for me is that each individual relationship, each thing that I do, I look at on its own merits. I look at it as its own thing. And that way I don't have to worry about the greater scheme of all the relationships I might ever have in the world. I just get to focus on like, hey, this is this person that I care about. That's kind of where I'm coming from. That's how I think about this stuff. But I think that's it. I gotta run and do, speaking of relationships, I promised a close friend of mine that I would be on his podcast. So I'm gonna go do that. We're gonna go talk about anime. I'll post the link to that whenever it comes out, so you can check it out. We're gonna be talking about Madoka. It's gonna be sweet. But I gotta go and eat before I do that. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.